Online-Conductor.Inc. video on RailRoads Online. Now, there's been a lot of progress I've done. I went to go record this video, and then I went to go edit it, and the sound was non-existent on it, so I had to record it again. Well, the difference is between now and the last recording has been a big time gap where I've done a lot on the track in the world. So we're going to go over that. First things first, though, I did expand. Hold on, let's get Betsy going, then I'll explain to you guys what's been happening. Betsy, let's get going. We're up to about a 30. There you go. Alrighty. So, what's been happening is I've expanded to the oil field. So I have a logging camp, sawmill, freight depot, and the oil field. I know I can't use the oil field yet, but with that being said, I can use it for one thing, at least as of right now. Ooh. Left that open. Lol. Since we're talking. Anyways. So, I've expanded all the way down there to the oil field. Now you'll hear me refer to a yard called either the west yard or the south yard. As of right now, that means the oil field. I have a yard down there where I've been storing some stuff. My cars. All my cars actually. Because the yard up here isn't quite big enough to store that many cars. And I was actually just coming back from trying to fix that whole mess over there at the lumber yard, and that was a project all on its own. I think I have spent probably a good 10 hours trying to work out the track between the lumber yard and the sawmill like 18 different times. It was rough. Yeah, it was bad. Really bad. So I haven't ran it yet or tested it yet with the new modifications. We're gonna see how well it goes. I'm not making any promises on it. I was hoping to make it to where I could run the 16 cars that we have, or 17 cars we have now on it a little bit better. I don't know if that's exactly going to happen. I don't know if I really made it that great to do that, but we'll see. I'm not going to hook up all 17 cars all at once. 16, 17 cars. I think it's 16. It might be 17 though. Either way, we'll figure out when we get down there. We have a long journey because we are coming basically from the lumber yard, and we're going to go all the way down to the oil field. So we got a long journey to go. Here's one of the changes coming up. I'll show you. Now I already know all these switches are set because this is the only way I've been going. Alright, so if we come back down this way into our yard here, which I'm going to change this up eventually because I don't want a main line heading into a yard like that. Then we come off this way, and this is where we start to have some fun. So we're going to end up with this grade. Yes, it's steep, but we're ending up climbing up just enough so that way the little Betsy here can squeeze underneath that track right here. I did bridge it over. And we can take a look at stop it in a second here and look at this. So yes, that is our track. It still runs underneath all of that. See, it still runs underneath all of it. However, we still run over it, and you can see, works perfectly fine. Like, it's great. Anyways, that's our bridge to get to the west yard. Now here's the track. This track I know is actually pretty decent for, surprisingly, for all the whole like 17 cars or whatever we have for cars. I can't remember. I've bought so many, lost count. It's insane. But I am going to sit on the front of Betsy so that way you guys can enjoy the ride for a little bit. Alrighty, as we come up, we're going to be coming up to a switch up here in a little bit, I think. Like I said, whether it's 16 or 17 cars, I can't remember, but it handles this track beautifully. Even despite that really sharp S-current corner back there right after that first bridge, it handles that like a dream. Like, those cars have no issues with it at all. Of course, they were unloaded, but I would have figured that they'd get there a little bit better when they're loaded because they're weighed down. Um, these switches up here should be set. Yeah, see, here's where I was going to kind of try to meet up that side with this track here for the return line, but completely missed my switch, which I had set right here. So that's going to continue on to be the main line once I get started on that and start working that way. These two tracks here, one's our return and one's our entry into the oil field. Now, when we come in here, it's going to get very confusing. So we're going to dial this back down. Alright, so we come around this corner and we have our first switch. Alright, so that's not too bad. Splits us into two tracks. Probably wondering why. One's going to be our siding track, our yard track, and the other ones are mainline, but are basically what I call it the unload and loading track. So we come around here, come up over here, and we have our little splits. We have four different tracks, my bad, that we can go up onto from here. I actually missed our switch. So that one's going to be our unloading to unload into the oil field here. Those two right there are going to be our loading for the oil, the crude oil. And then the track that we're currently on is our mainline track through here. So what I did is the loop that we have through here is set on this track. This track is set English, please. This middle track here is our main line. It's for this sub railroad track. We're gonna throw the brakes on here. Actually, no, I could probably just back down there. We'll go ahead and flip that. That'll take us down to that track. Anyways, let me get to what I was saying here real fast. So yes, this middle track right here is our main line track. There's supposed to be no loading, no nothing on it. That's just all it is it's our main through and through. So that's what all the switches will be set to, is the cruise up down that. Now we can obviously switch this on, this, whatever we want. This track right here comes around, and then we put it comes out onto our siding track, because this is a secondary loading, crude oil loading track, so it can also be used as a siding to hold cars if we need to. This siding over here is our actual little mini yard that I created. So we have our first track over there, our middle track, and this track. And the siding is completely kept off the main line except for those two switches, so one all the way over there, and that one all the way over there where Betsy is. That's where the siding meets up with the main line. So all of these could be filled up with cars if we wanted to, these three, but I'd preferably like to keep it to where one of them's available. So here's our cars. This is the shorter one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So yeah, 17, because this is the 10. This is 10 cars right here. Pretty sure. Let me double check it and see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Okay. So yeah, this is the one that we're gonna hook up to. So I like longer trains. That 7 cars is fun, but not as great as 10. And if we put all of them together, it becomes a nightmare. I mean, I guess we do gotta bring all of the cars back that way, because they can't stay over. I mean, they can, but this is meant for oil refinery stuff. But I put a yard over here mainly because there's going to be a couple different cars that we have to use to fill up or to get the crude oil. So I put a yard over here so that way we can store the said cars over here and not have to worry about getting in our way. I just been kind of currently keeping the rest of the cars here as well because, like I said, I've been working on all of the track trying to make it better, and I think I ended up making it worse. Who knows? Okay, that'll get us to the 7. And we'll switch. So yeah, we're gonna be doing a little bit of switching here for a second. Yard work. Alright, so up here I completely redid that one piece of track we always have issues with. So there's the siding off to the sawmill. There's one of them at least. That's the return line, which we don't want to forget to flip. We won't do it now, but before we head back onto the main line. Alright, so here is the new part of the track. So we start going up onto this nice little lovely bridge, wooden bridge here. That was one of my walking ramps to get on the track when I was working on it. This is another area that I was trying to play around with that bridge idea that I got going back over there at the yard. And as you can see, that's how it works. It's a little low though. I mean, Betsy gets through it obviously just fine. Like, it's not gonna have any issues right now. There's the other track to the sawmill. Yeah, we have a couple different tracks here to the sawmill. And this, I redone all of this to make it a little better, and it comes off a little bit better over here, so it's not just like a straight. Okay, this is the track I have no idea about if we're gonna withstand it or not. So you see, it's not as bad, not nearly as bad as it was last time. If anything like this track fails right here, we can just use this track, this main line still. Because this is the return. Yeah, this is the return line and the entry line. So either way, we can, when we come back this way, we can either decide if we want to take the dedicated track for the sawmill or just the main line. Main line we can take if there's no other trains, or we just, like I said, we don't want to take that way. Alright, so here's where we got to decide real quick, and I forgot we've got to decide right here. I think we are headed straight. No, it says to this way. I don't see how it is, because... Alright, I guess it probably hasn't fully grabbed it yet. Oh yeah, we're switched. Okay, alright. So this is where we get into some pickles. As we come around over here like so. And it's a pretty sharp turn. But it, yeah, we're gonna see. This place has been giving me nightmares, and I've been trying to find a way to do it, to make it to where they both come. It's stupid. Anyways, we go through there, we'll come around, we'll get onto, it'll come around this corner, this bend, it'll come back through there, come cycling through here, and bam, we're back on the track. We gotta flip the, which we're good. This one right here, I don't have anything connected to it yet, because I can't figure out, like I said, how I want to do this. Because the main line comes off in a really bad area for the sawmill. So you've got to do a bend, and usually when I'm coming to the sawmill, I've got a lot of cars like what we've got now. So I want to keep the loading area nice and gradual if I can, which is why that's such a big turn for no reason. So that way when we're loading, because Betsy with those 17 cars should probably come out to like right there, if not a little bit farther. She gets pretty long, pretty far out there. And like this one would be a good one to kind of hook it this way and go this way, but I've tried to work a crossover 90 in there. It does not work as well as I wanted it to. I could try the little bridge thing that I've got going on at the yard and over there. I didn't really want to have to, but I might. I could hook it back around that way again, but the whole point of trying to redo this was to not have to hook it back down this way like that, and I still had to in the end, which kind of stinks. So I've tried to work this and I just cannot get it the way I want it to. So we'll see if this works. If this works, we'll leave it alone for a little bit until we start needed doing cordwood. Once we need to do cordwood, then we'll have to figure something else out. But as of right now, we don't need it yet. We don't have anything that takes it, as far as I know, except for the freight depot, obviously. I don't think the sawmill takes cordwood. I don't know where cordwood goes to. You have to let me know. But since we're all set, go ahead and get going here. I want to keep this at a nice 10% because, like I said, first voyage on this track, and especially with this long of a train over here, so we'll see. I was really hoping to have the other video that I recorded before this one to work out, but like I said, audio didn't, so it's gonna be a pretty big jump from last video to this video. I mean, last video we had 7 cars, and now we're up to 17, so we've added 10 cars. Nice thing about the 17s, I'm pretty sure we get around 1,000 per load. So you can make some money quick. It just takes forever to load, and you've got to be extremely careful with it on the track, at least the way I had it before. And I was constant. I think I got like 2 loads in with it before I just put it off, the train off over there, because I just kept on derailing on certain areas that wasn't necessarily the length of the train, it was just how the track was, but so it seems to handle that just fine. That kind of increases my hopes a little bit about this. Alright, so we do have a shorter run here. So we gotta get used to that. And we gotta get used to the grade. Because yeah, we may be coming downhill right through there. Right here is flat. And then about right there where the cursor is where it starts to actually grade, or the grade starts going up. Through that whole corner, it's up. It goes up, and then I think it gets to somewhere back here, probably right there somewhere. It's where it finally flattens out, and then this is all flat up to probably about right there, and then it grades down. Alright, well hey, look at that. We are finally done loading this train. As you can see, like I said, Betsy gets all the way out there when we finally load up that last car. It's insane. That's why this turn here has to be so gradual, because we're trying to, yeah, it's turn and load at the same time. It's not fun. Alright. Betsy is steamed up and ready to go. We gotta hurry because we don't got a lot of fuel left. We got whatever's burning in Betsy right now, and that's about it. See, Betsy got a lot of power. She towing it. I think it's, if I remember right, it should be like a 3 to 4 maybe steeper percentage grade. Like it's a pretty steep grade. But at the same time, it's still not steep. It's gradual and steep at the same time. I don't know why I couldn't just said that the first time and only one time instead of saying it like 18 billion times, but you know. Alrighty, so there's the end of the train. That is so cool, but that is sketchy. I'm scared that the middle's gonna come falling off. The max amount of cars I'd put on this loop here would probably be 20. Maybe. Bet you don't get going too fast here. Nice thing is we have we're so long that we have the uphill still kind of slow in the back of the train while this front part is pushing us, so we can kind of just coast for a second. Now once that gets up on the flats part, then we are gonna be toast. Like now. Everybody's still attached. Yeah, we're still all coming. Can lessen the brake. Probably let off all the way on the brake. Slow her down again while the back is coming down off of that. Once the back starts going down, it's going to be kind of push, push, shove, shove. Keep tension on the train. Okay, I'm going to let it start pulling a little. Oh my gosh, we're still trying to come down that hill. Now I can't even see it, but yeah, we're still trying to come down that damn hill. I think we're finally on the, almost down it on the backside. Yeah, that's the last car just came down, and now we're fully off that hill. Now we can kind of just coast through this. That switch is thrown. Goody for us. That switch is not, however. I forgot about this switch, and I really don't want to leave Betsy by herself. But it might happen. Come on, Betsy. Let's get going. I say I might be probably going unnecessarily slow, but this is the first time I'm taking anything across this track, and especially loaded. I've had really bad luck with the 17 car train lately. This game has realistic physics, and it makes it really hard sometimes. Okay, I think we're good. Just gonna keep coasting for now, because that is pretty bendy. I know we're still snaking through it. We are coasting, right? Yeah. Apply a brake so we're not yeeting the last cars back there off, because they're still probably coming around like that. Once we get primarily on the bridge here, we'll be alright. Kind of just coasting. This bridge, I think the downhill starts somewhere right there. I mean, it is kind of still going downhill a little bit. Or maybe a lot of bit. Maybe we already are going downhill and I'm just crazy. Yeah, see, there's that project I was talking about with the bridge and everything that goes over the main line. Yeah, see, it leads to nothing. I just was trying to get to something to work, and I had the line running through here and going up through there. It was actually up through there and stuff like that, and it just didn't look good. I didn't like it, but I wanted to kind of keep that in case I wanted to use it for something else. Now that I have this here, I might probably don't need it, and I probably should get rid of it, but it still kind of looks cool to kind of go under a bridge over there. So I take it we're not on the downhill because we are not really going anywhere because we're just coasting. Yeah, and I wanted to make this track here look like a really back road type of track, like a private line type deal. Because it's not, the main line's over there, and the main line, it's pretty clear. The trees are kind of away from the track. Here, kind of wanted to make it look a little bit more private, because really the only time there's going to be a train on this track is when it's like us taking hauling logs from the log yard to the sawmill up here. So we are going ham. It's because we got a downhill. Oh, we need to start slowing down. Oh, I didn't realize the track did that right there. Luckily for us, since we're low on fuel, this is all downhill. We're pretty much just coasting down with the brake on. Ooh, that is a scary turn. I did not realize that was going to be that sharp. Cars, you can tell they really don't like it, but they'll do it. That's cool. That's kind of how a lot of train's supposed to be. Really sketchy, narrow track like that and windy. That was intense, actually. I was really worried for one of the back cars to fall off. Now, the thing is, this is also really bad because there's a switch that's going to be coming up soon, I do believe. Oh, no, I guess not. Where's the switch at then? Does that track go to nowhere? It can't go to nowhere. Nowhere. That is a really sharp turn. Yeesh. That's why we're not taking this on that. That's for a smaller train. I don't think this train here would have a very good time on that track. Depending on how these logs, it counts the weight for the logs. If it counts it where every log is at, then it's kind of bad for us because it could start leaning. But if it counts it down here where the car is, or just the car itself, then it'd be alright, because then all that weight's low. Having the highway like that's what kind of messes with everything. It has me. I'm not sure if it does have highway. I'm assuming we should. See, we're still coming out over there. That's our last car right there. Okay, now we gotta race the train before it starts going down this really bad downhill. Okay, we are set for that switch. As I figured we should be. I forgot to save the game before we left the yard, or the lumber yard. I hope this doesn't derail then. Ooh, this is gonna be sketchy. Forgot. This is not like the freight yard. We gotta back this trucker up if we can get it going backwards. Slow, Betsy, slowly go backwards. This is a long train to try to be pushing backwards through some bends. Stop, 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 stop. Everybody all good? Alright, bet.